Hello everyone. Am I audible and visible? Please confirm. If you confirm, I will start the session. In the chat box, you can comment. Accordingly, I will start the session. Thank you. So today morning we have prelims examination UPSC. We know that from 9:30 to 11:30. Compared with 2021, 2022, 2023, the question paper is easy, comparatively easy. But understand, when I am talking from comparative point of view, the question paper is easy. But when I talk from the perspective of standard of the question paper, it is moderate. So easy, moderate, tough, it is moderate question paper, as I told you in the morning session itself. So it is a moderate. So how the questions came, the subject wise analysis I did. So the most of the questions are from polity. 19 questions came, nearly 19 questions are from polity, and government schemes and policies. We have 3 questions, government policies and government policies and government schemes. Current affairs 13 questions, geography 16, art and culture 5, modern India 2, environment 8 this time, international relations 5, and economy 12. And economy 12 we have, so economy 12 we have So economy we have 12, and ancient and medieval we have 1, and science and technology we have 16. Science and technology questions are more, and polity questions are more, then economy questions are more comparatively. So overall, in this way the subjects are being divided by the UPSC. So polity questions or economy questions are not as per 2021, as per 2022, as per 2023 standards. But however, it is a moderate question paper. We will see the MCQs, what are the appropriate answers, we will look into it. So the appropriate answers are, number 1, when we talk about delimitation commission, how many delimitation commissions have been constituted by the government of India till December? This is some random question paper, this question paper which we took from internet. So it is been in 52, 62, 72 and in 2003. Overall, answer is the 4 answer. Why? Because delimitation commission is going to come in 2026. The next elections are going to happen after delimitation commission. Delimitation commission is nothing but rearrangement, readjustment of the constituencies of MLAs and MPs with respect to the Lok Sabha as well as MLAs of the state legislative assemblies. So hence it is in the current affair, hence they asked about delimitation commission. And the second question is about 71st Constitutional Amendment Act, 8th schedule of the Constitution. Which of the following were being included in the 8th schedule of the Constitution by 71st Constitutional Amendment Act? This also we know. So it is Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali and Maithili. Maithili is not the answer. So it is Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali. 100% purely factual question this is. Of little bit lower standard when compared to UPSC, but however we have to accept. So then next is Bharatiya Janasangh, Socialist Party, Congress for Democracy, Swatantra Party. Who is the founder of this? In this way they asked the question. So the answer is Bharatiya Janasangh, which is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. The first name of BJP party is Bharatiya Janasangh, which has been started by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. This is correct statement. Socialist Party Rajgopalachari. No, Socialist Party is not by Rajgopalachari. Congress for Democracy is Jagjeevan Ram. This is correct statement. Swatantra Party is not by Acharya Narendra Dev. So hence how many of the rows are correct means it is only 2 rows are correct. In this way the 3 questions were been asked. And the 4th question is again, if you look into here, the 4th, which of the following statements are correct about the Constitution of India? So powers of the municipalities are given in the part 9A of the Constitution. True, this statement is given. Parts they asked, part 9 is Panchayat, part 9A is municipalities, as well as 18th is emergency provision, and 20th is amendment of the constitution. Hence 3 are correct. This is correct, this is correct, and this is correct. Hence we have the next is, yes, again, which one of the following statements is correct as per the Constitution of India? He asked about 7th schedule of the Constitution. Interstate trade and commerce is a, how it can be a state subject? Interstate, 2 states are involved. Then how it can be a state list? Wrong. And the next is, the next question is, the interstate migration is a, how interstate migration can be a state subject? Means with common sense also, this we can put correct or wrong. And the 4th, corporation tax is a state subject under the state. Corporation tax comes under which list? Which of the following statements are correct? Last one, interstate quarantine is an union subject. That is the reason they had imposed quarantine restrictions. Central government has imposed the COVID restrictions, so it is under the union list. So answer is C in this way. And the next question is, 6th question is, under which of the following articles of the Constitution Supreme Court of India places the right to privacy? Very, yes, audio is perfect, right? Yes. And one more question, one more answer I want to give. Expected cutoff will be not more than 90. Those who are crossing 90 marks, please prepare very. Why? Because CSAT is also easy, and the cutoff might increase more than 90 also. The cutoff might increase more than 90, but I want to tell that those who are crossing 90, please start your preparation. Under which of the following articles of the Constitution of India has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy? We know that the question is very direct. It is Article 21 of the Constitution. Right to privacy is Article 21 of the Constitution. Under Puttaswamy judgment of Supreme Court. Puttaswamy judgment of Supreme Court, right to privacy was been kept in what? In Article 21 of the Constitution. So many times we discussed, and it is a easy question. Every teacher will teach about it. And 7th question is about, what are the duties of Chief of Defence Staff? What are the duties of Chief of Defence Staff as the head of Department of Military Affairs, permanent chairman of Chief of Staffs of Defence? Correct. He is principal military advisor to the Defence Minister? Correct. Exercise military command over the 3 services? No, that is wrong answer. So answer is 1, 3. 1, 3 is the correct answer of 7th question. Answer is 1 and 3. Next is, operations undertaken by the army towards upliftment of local populations in remote areas. In remote areas, for the upliftment, for the development, for their growth of the lower level of people, vulnerable sections, what are all the programs, what are all the schemes which are being brought by the military, under which operation for their development, for their upliftment is Operation Sadbhavana. Operation Sadbhavana. Operation Madad is different. Operation Maitri is completely different. Operation Sankalp is also completely different. It is Operation Sadbhavana. And coming to the 9th question again. Yes. The longest border between any 2 countries in the world. Any geography student, it is present in NCERT books. Any person who is a beginner will know this answer. It is from Canada and the United States of America. If you see Chile and Argentina, the distance is very less. China and India, the distance is very less. Kazakhstan and Russian Federation, little bit doubt, whereas Canada and United States have a very big border. So hence the answer, the longest border between any 2 countries in the world is United States of America and Canada. And the next question is 10th question, which is, which of the following statements about the ethics committee? We know Mahua Moitra of West Bengal, she was been placed under ethics committee, saying that she took some money to ask the questions in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha. So ethics committee was been formed, and ethics committee has suspended her. Hence it is in the news. So everyone expected there will be a question from ethics committee, and there is a question from ethics committee. Initially it was an ad hoc committee. Only a member of the Lok Sabha can make a complaint relating to unethical. See, whenever there is only statement, radical statement, we have to be very, very careful. This committee cannot take up any matter which is sub judice. Yes, this committee, whatever it may be, it is sub judice, means under the judicature of Supreme Court, under the judicature of High Court. It means already it is under the sub judice of High Court or Supreme Court, 100% any committee will not have any role, hence this statement is correct. So initially it was an ad hoc committee, only member is wrong, only member is wrong. So initially it was an ad hoc committee, it's an ad hoc committee. If you don't know this also, by elimination we can make this answer correct. How we can make this answer correct? See here, answer is, if you see 3 is correct, but 2 is wrong. 2 wrong, 2 wrong, 2 wrong. 2 is present here, 2 is present here, 2 is present here. So hence answer is 1 and 3. And the next question is, who was the provisional president of the Constituent Assembly? Very factual question, easy question. Who was the provisional president of the Constituent Assembly before Rajendra Prasad? Is Sachidananda Sinha. Sachidananda Sinha, we know that. With reference to Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. It provided for the establishment of All India Federation. That is the reason Government of India is very famous. Government of India Act of 1935 is very important. For the first time, the federation came at the union level. For the first time, the federation was been formed with provincials, British India provinces and princely states. With British India provinces and with princely states, All India Federation was being formed. We discussed about it. So defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature. See, common sense here. Common sense here. Defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature. Why British will keep under federal legislature? Who is federal legislature? The local leaders, the responsible government. Means the legislature consists of local people also, Indians also. Why they will keep defense under Indians? Why they will keep foreign affairs under Indians? So obviously the Governor General want to control it, Viceroy want to control it. So obviously it will be under the control of Viceroy. So hence it will be what subject? Reserved subject. It will be reserved subject under whom? It will be under the reserved subject of Governor General of India according to Government of India Act of 1935, which is another one controlled by Viceroy. So which statement is correct? Only statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is wrong. Question number? Yes. Next, which one of the following, see one only, which one of the following is a work attributed to playwright Basha? This is tough question. This is tough question. Only few people might know it. I know only few people might know it. Which one of the following is a work attributed to playwright Basha? Remember this, playwright Basha. Most of the people, if you don't know, most of the people doesn't know. So you should not feel tense. Answer is Madhyamika Vaya Yoga. But I am talking from exam point of view. This is tough question. We might know or we might not know. We might already read it, then only we can remember in the examination hall. So this is tough question, I take it as. Next, Sanghabhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who travelled to China at the end of the 4th century AD, was the author of commentary. Sanghabhuti. If you see internet also, Sanghabhuti has been shown with different names. The answer is Lalita Vistara. And the next question is, consider the following properties included in the World Heritage List of UNESCO. అంటే means अभी नया वाला कौन से वाला UNESCO World Heritage Site में the list it was been present. What are the UNESCO's World Heritage Sites which are been included in this particular list? Shanti Niketan recently. Consider the following properties included in the World Heritage List released by UNESCO. Shanti Niketan correct. Rani Ke Vav correct. Sacred ensembles of the Hoysalas. Mahabuddhi. So it is mainly sacred ensemble of the Hoysalas as well as Shanti Niketan. Consider the following properties including the World Heritage released by UNESCO. So answer is only 2, that is Hoysalas and Shanti Niketan. Hoysalas and Shanti Niketan, only 2 are correct. See, how many of the above properties were included? 2023. Rani Ka Vav is already there. Bauddha Gaya is already there. But in 2023, it is only Shantiniketan and Hoysalas were been included in the UNESCO's World Heritage List. If you see here, if you don't read this sentence, we fall into the trap. So compulsory we have to notice the question properly. So it is Shantiniketan and Hoysalas. Next. As per article 368 of the Constitution of the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution. What is that? Simple. As per Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament may amend any provision. It can be by addition, it can be by variation, variation means changing, or it can be by repeal. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. Polity questions are easy, that we have to accept. And the next is, this is again common sense. Which of the above countries are frequently mentioned in the media for their low birth rates or aging population or declining population? First you have to understand. Japan, birth rates are very less and aging population is increasing. For their low birth rate or aging population or declining population. Aging population is increasing, we heard lot of time. It is Japan, it is South Korea, it is Italy. Nigeria, the big problem is population growth is increasing. South Africa is also, the population is increasing. So answer is what? 1, 2 and 4. According to the report also the same. Money bill question. Yes. Money bill, Article 109 mentions special procedures in respect to money bills. Exactly correct. Articles which we have to remember, he asked first time, very articles he asked like anything. So shocking, this is compulsory shocking, factual shocking, objective shocking. So 109 talks about special procedure for money bills. Correct statement. A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of State. Yes, it can be introduced only in the House of People. True. Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes but cannot reject. True. Amendments to a money bill suggested by the Rajya Sabha have to be accepted. No. If they want to accept, they can accept. If they don't want to accept, they can reject it. It means they cannot accept. Who? Lok Sabha. So answer is what? 1, 2 and 3. Please remember the questions. Northeastern Council was established by the Northeastern Councils Act of 1971. Subsequent, there was an amendment for Northeastern Council 2002. The council comprises of what? All the chief ministers, all the governors of 8 sister states of Northeast India, 3 members to be nominated by the President of India, but there will be no Home Minister. There will be no Home Minister. 3, there will be governor from 8 states, 8 sister states of Northeast India, chief ministers of 8 sister states of Northeast India, as well as there will be 3 members nominated by the President of India. So answer is 1, 2 and 3 only. And the next question is 21. Nari Shakti Vandana Abhinayam. Nari Shakti Vandana Abhinayam, that is nothing but 33% of reservations in Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly is Nari Shakti Abhinayam. Provisions will come into effect from 18th Lok Sabha. This is 17th Lok Sabha. So next Lok Sabha is going to be the 18th Lok Sabha. So it is going to come into force from 18th Lok Sabha, correct? 15 years, not 10 years. It is 15 years. It is 15 years. These are the provisions for, again in scheduled caste also, SC women should be 33%. In scheduled tribe also, scheduled tribe women should be 33%. In that way the reservations are there. That particular reservation is called as Nari Shakti Vandana Abhinayam. Nari Shakti Vandana Abhinayam. 1, 2, 3 are correct. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Which of the following statements about exercise Mitra Shakti 2023? Exercise Mitra Shakti. If you remember current affairs, which we discussed in our current affairs classes also, Mitra Shakti, Sri Lanka. If you just know Mitra Shakti is Sri Lanka, you can eliminate it if you want to see here. This was a joint military exercise between India and Bangladesh. I told you it is not Bangladesh, it is Sri Lanka. 1 wrong, 1 wrong, 1 wrong. So what is 2, 3, 4? Last prelims, there was no scope for elimination in UPSC, but this prelims, I don't know what happened. They made the question paper little bit easy. Why? Because they allowed scope for elimination. A clear-cut example of elimination, if you know only one thing, that is the Mitra Shakti exercise is between India and Sri Lanka. If you know that point, you got correct. Next. Next question. 22. 23. A writ of prohibition is an order issued by the Supreme Court. Prohibitions, quo warranto, habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition. In the lower court prohibiting continuation of proceedings in a case. A writ of is an order issued by the Supreme Court or High Court to whom? To the lower court. Prohibiting continuation or proceedings of the court. Please stop. You don't do it. I will take it. It is out of your jurisdiction. It is over jurisdiction. That particular thing will not come under your jurisdiction. So I am prohibiting you from continuing the proceedings of the court. Please stop the proceedings of the court. Prohibition. Article 32 of the Constitution. Remedies for the violation of fundamental rights. It is one of the remedy for the violation of fundamental rights under writs of the Constitution, and one of the writ is prohibition, which you know already. But you might be little bit confused. If not, there will be no issue. Next, consider the following statements. It is the governor of the state. It is the governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of the state as a scheduled tribe. No, it is the president. No, scheduled tribe who will be identified as a scheduled tribe as per the Constitution. It is the President of India who will be having the power to identify any community as a scheduled tribe in one particular state. And if one particular community is scheduled tribe in one particular community, that community might not be compulsory a scheduled tribe in other state also. It can be general or it can be any other. For example, Gurjars of Jammu and Kashmir are ST, and the same Gurjars in Rajasthan are OBC. Nayaks of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are STs, and Nayaks of Karnataka are scheduled caste. So that means, second statement, a community declared a scheduled tribe in a state need not be the so in another state also. So hence the second statement is correct. With reference to union budget, consider the following statements. The Union Finance Minister on behalf of Prime Minister, see, everything will be running on the name of nominal. Who is the nominal power? President of India. So it will be on the name of President of India, but not on the name of Prime Minister of India. At the union level, no demand for grant can be made except on the recommendations of President of India. Yes, second statement is correct. Only on the recommendations of President of India. So 2 only is the correct statement. Next question. Which of the following is the author of the books The India Way and Why Bharat Matters? The India Way and Why the Bharat Matters, Jaishankar. Subramaniam Jaishankar is external minister. He written a book called as The India Way and Why Bharat Matters. That particular book is called as Subramaniam Jaishankar. Hence, BJP government, hence he asked this particular book, I think so. Next question. Consider the following statements. Yes. Argentina, worst economic crisis. Sudan, war between the country's regular army and the paramilitary forces. Turkey rescinded its membership of NATO. So answer only 2 pairs are correct. Argentina is correct. War between the country's regular army and the paramilitary forces, and Turkey this. Sudan, civil war will be happening. Here, the war between the country's regular army and the people in Sudan, not between the paramilitary forces and the army. It is a war between the people. Civil war is very common in Sudan. So these 2 statements are correct. Only 2. Next. Suez pipeline is a strategic route. Pipeline is strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and natural gas shipments to Europe. Suez pipeline is a strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and natural shipments to Europe. Suez pipeline connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. Hence, the right statement here is both statements are correct, but statement 2 does not explain this. Individually, this statement is correct. Individually, this statement is correct. Answer is B for this particular pipeline. Current affairs question this is. Again, there is a question on Red Sea. Why? Because Red Sea is in the news. Because of Iran, because of Israel, because of war, Palestine. The Red Sea receives very little precipitation in any form. No water enters the Red Sea. Both are correct. I know this is tricky question. I know the countries who are bordering the Red Sea also doesn't know it, but this is tricky question. ఇది అందరి పెట్టాలని లేదు, వస్తే రావచ్చు లేకపోతే లేదు. ఈ 100% this is tricky question only. Why? Because we might know or we might not know. Next. According to the Environment Protection Agency, which one of the following is the largest source of sulfur dioxide emissions? Power plants. Thermal power plants. Power plants using fossil fuels is very much responsible for sulfur dioxide, for source of sulfur dioxide. This also, not only this, locomotives using fossil fuels also, but most is by power plants. After that, vehicular exhaust also, from vehicular exhaust also, much of the sulfur dioxide will be coming out. Hence, next question, the USA were to default on its debt, holders of US Treasury bonds will not be able to exercise their claims to receive payments are correct, but statement 2 does not explain. The USA government debt is not backed by any hard assets, but only by the faith of the government. This is USA debt. Every time it will be in the news with respect to economy, hence he asked this question. And the next is syndicated also. Syndicated lending spreads the risk of borrower defaults across multiple lenders. They form the syndicate and they take the land. The syndicated loan can be fixed amount but cannot be a credit line. So both the statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. This is economy little bit tougher question. I accept it. And the next question is with reference to 33 question. With respect to digital rupee, it is sovereign currency issued by the RBI in alignment with its monetary policy. It is a sovereign currency, a digital rupee. No. It appears as a liability on the RBI's balance sheet. It is insured against inflation by its very design. It is freely convertible against commercial bank money and cash. We will see it. So see, if you know, it is insured against inflation by its very design. This is 100% wrong. So elimination method. It appears as a liability 1, 2 and 3. Yes, on the RBI's bank sheet, yes, they have to pay it back. So answer is D, 1, 2 and 4. Next, Gautam Buddha question. With reference to Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? It is Sakyamuni and Tathagata. It is Nayaputta, no. We heard about Sakyamuni in our ethics classes. We heard about Sakyamuni and Tathagata. So answer is yes, 2 and 3. And the next is anthropology students will know about it. Chandrakutgar, Odisha trading port town. Inamgaon, Maharashtra Chalcolithic site. Mangadu, Kerala megalithic site. Remember this. This is not Kerala. It is very near to Chennai. Mangadu, Tamil Nadu. This is Salihundam, Andhra Pradesh rocket caves. This is correct. Inamgan, Maharashtra Chalcolithic. It is not Maharashtra. It is Madhya Pradesh. Chandrakutgar, Odisha trading ports. How many are correct? 2 are correct. Question number, it is 35. So answer is how many statements are correct? 1 and 4 are correct. 36th question. Which of the following rulers of medieval India gave permission to the Portuguese to build a fort at Batkal? It is Krishna Deva Raya. This is in the history. It is commonly in medieval India, commonly we will be studying it. So hence this is expected question only. This is easy question. With reference to revenue collection by Cornwallis, Lord Cornwallis, consider the following statements. Under the Royatwari settlement of revenue collection, the peasants were exempted. Royatwari settlement, peasants were being exempted from revenue payments in case of hard. No, how they will exempt? Common sense. Why? Because British people, they want to take the money. Under the permanent settlement in Bengal, if the Jamindari failed to pay his revenues to the state on or before the fixed day, he would be removed from his Jamindari. Yes, Jamindari would be forced to collect the taxes. Why? Because Jamindar should pay to the British. That is the reason the Jamindari will be conducting lot of atrocities on the peasants. So, by which he will not do. If Jamindar, if he is not paying, then he will be removed. So, he will be forced to do atrocities on the peasants. So, second statement is correct. Answer is second statement. 2 only. Consider the following statements. There are no parables in Upanishad. Parables means small stories. Small moral stories will be there. That is called as parables. Small moral stories like how motivational stories or godly stories, those stories are called as parables. There are no parables in Upanishad, no. Again, with your intelligent guess also, we can first you have to know this meaning, whether this is parables or not. If you know these parables, you know the answer. Parables means short stories, short moral stories. You think now. Vedas have lot of moral stories. Puranas have lot of moral stories. Upanishads have lot of moral stories. Bible have lot of moral stories. Quran have lot of moral stories. Which religious text will not have moral stories? Almost all will be having the moral stories, no? In that way, there are no parables in Upanishad. Wrong. If you know the meaning of the parable, you can keep it correct. Upanishads were composed earlier than the Puranas. Upanishads were composed, yes, Upanishads are old, then we got recently Puranas. Upanishads were being composed earlier than Puranas. So answer is 2 only. International Grain Council. India is a member of International Grain Council. Consider the following statement. India is a member of International Grain Council. True. Now you see common sense. A country needs to be a member of the International Grain Council for exporting or importing rice and wheat. Why? Why? If I am paying or if I am in emergency, there is some disaster, there is a requirement of grains, there is a requirement of some food, there is a requirement of some rice, or there is a requirement of some wheat, then why I should become part of International Grain Council? So a country needs to be a member of international, so answer only is one statement. This is common sense. I need not be, no, International Grain Council means it mainly talks about food, it mainly talks about food security, it mainly talks about hunger. So any country which is not part of International Grain Council also can participate in import and export with the countries who are part of International Grain Council, and India is one of the member of International Grain Council. Why? Because we are the bowl, we are the producers, we are the producers of wheat and rice. Then obviously we will be member of it. I know నాకు ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏదో సింప్లిఫై చేసి చెప్పడం నాకు ఈజీ, కానీ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ హాల్లో మీరు కూడా దాదాపు కరెక్టే పెట్టుంటారు. కొంచెం ఆ నిమిషంలో ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆలోచిస్తే కరెక్ట్ అయ్యే అవకాశాలు కొంచెం మెండుగా ఉంటాయి. బట్ హవెవర్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ గ్రెయిన్ కౌన్సిల్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో సంథింగ్ విచ్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద న్యూస్. విచ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ వాజ్ ద లేటెస్ట్ incursion in the intangible cultural heritage list of UNESCO? It is Garba dance. It is not Chow dance, it is not Durga Puja, it is not Kumbh Mela, it is Garba dance. So Garba dance was been added. Garba dance was included in the intangible list of UNESCO's World Heritage list. So it is Garba dance. Next question, again polity came. Yes, 41 international relations, then polity, few questions are there. Statement, there is Sahel region. The question is about Sahel region. Sahel region is mainly located in northern Africa, very dry region which is called as sub-Saharan Africa. The Sahel region, the sub-Saharan Africa, which is very famous for drought, famine, desertification, is Sahel region. Lot of migration, people will migrate. It is all abundant by Muslim countries, Muslim people. Sahel region, down to Tunisia, Niger region, from Burkina Faso to Sudan. This particular region in African map is called as Sahel region. There is instability and worsening security situations in the Sahel region, 100%. Every time civil war, every time some or the other conflict will be there. There have been military takeovers, coups, dictats in several countries of the Sahel region in the recent past. Both statement and statement to explain statement. Yes. Why there is instability? Why there is worsening of security situations? Because every time some or the other Some or the other civil war will be there, some or the other some war will be there, some or the other some issue will be there. There will be law and order problem in Sahel region, in that all the countries of the Sahel region. So answer is A. This is also easy question only, yes. Easy question only. Next, 41. Consider statement 1. India does not import apples. India does not import, we will not buy apples. India does not import apples from the United States of America. In India, the law prohibits the import of genetically modified food without the approval of the competent authority. What is the competent authority? The competent authority is called as Genetical Engineering Appraisal Committee, which has been established by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change under the legislation called as Environment Protection Act of 1986. That particular body is called a Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. So here if you see, India does not import apples from United States. No. We will import from all the countries. So India will import from United States of America. But this is also correct. The law prohibits the import of genetically modified food without the approval of the competent authority. Statement, but statement 2 is yes. Statement 1, but statement 2 is correct. That is yes. In India, we did not give permission for the food grains, we didn't give the permission for food products, we didn't give the permission for grains which are genetically modified crops. We gave permission only for genetically modified organism cotton crops, non-food crop, that too cotton we gave. But here apple, obviously we are not allowing it, and India is taking imports, we are buying from United States of America, but we are taking, but when we come to know that that particular apple is genetically modified organism crop, we are not going to take it. Next. With reference to speaker, any doubts, students? Am I clear, right? Please, if you confirm it, then I can continue further. If not, I am shouting and you are listening or not, I am unable to understand. Please once confirm. Anonymous, yes, audio is perfect, okay. So it is, my computer is that side, so I am looking at, my monitor is that side. That is the reason I will be looking at this particular side, yes. So here, with reference to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. While any resolution for the removal of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is under consideration, he or she shall not preside. Means when the speaker is subjected to removal procedure, whether he should be presiding the house or he should not be presiding the house, here it is, he shall not preside, number 1. Number 2, he shall not have the right to speak, he shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution. The direct answer is, when he is subjected to removal procedure, he will be the member of the house, but he will be not presiding the house. The first statement is very clear. When the speaker is subjected to removal, he will be not presiding the house. When he is not presiding the house, obviously he will be like a normal man, he will be like a normal MLA, he will be like a normal MP. He shall not have the right to speak, he have the right to speak. Who can stop him from right to speak? He shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. No, when he is a normal member, when he is like a normal member, he have the right to, but he will be not presiding the house when his removal procedure is levied. Yes, Sanjay Balaji, thank you. Yes. Answer is 1 only. Then 44th question. With reference to Indian Parliament, a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. Yes, a bill pending means Lok Sabha didn't pass it. Lok Sabha dissoluted, then the bill also will be lapsed. Another bill should be placed into the House. Correct. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. Why? Because there might be the reason that because of the passing of the bill only, the Lok Sabha might be dissoluted. Hence, the bill also will be lapsed. This is also correct. Look into it. A bill in regard to which the President of India notified his or intention to summon the Houses to a joint sitting lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. A bill in regard to which the President of India notified his intention to summon the House to a joint sitting lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. No, it will not lapse. Another House will come. See, before I am sending to the Lok Sabha, if the Lok Sabha is dissolved, it doesn't mean that bill will be lapsed. The new Lok Sabha will take it. The new Lok Sabha will. Volume is low. Please, everyone. Volume is, please, you have to increase. మీరు ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయాలండి అక్కడ. మీ దగ్గర ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసుకోవాలి అందరూ ప్లీజ్. సో 1 and 2 ఇది అర్థమైంది కదా. అంటే ఏంటంటే ఏ బిల్ వేర్ బై ద ప్రెసిడెంట్ హ్యాడ్ కాల్డ్ ఫర్ joint sitting. Before the joint sitting come into existence, the Lok Sabha was dissoluted. So when the Lok Sabha is dissoluted, that means that the bill will be coming for the joint sitting. But again the new Lok Sabha will be forming, and the new Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha both will be coming together for a joint sitting. Hence it is wrong statement. So answer is 1 and 2. 45th question. With reference to Parliament of India, consider the following statements. Parliament of India. Prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of the Council of Ministers. Prorogation of house by the President of India does not require the advice of the Council of Ministers. On the advice of Council of Ministers only, no, there will be prorogation by the President. Wrong statement. It is required. On the recommendations of Council of Ministers only. There will be prorogation by the President. Second statement. Prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned sine die, but there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who, save in exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Yes, 2 and 3 are little bit longer questions. This is little bit longer question. It is mainly about the powers of the President with respect to dissolution of the Lok Sabha, in which circumstances the lower house can be dissoluted, is the question is all about. 46th question. Consider the following statements. European Parliament approved the Net Zero Industry Act recently. True. Net Zero Industry Act recently, it tells that complete Europe should wipe out fossil fuels and there should be carbon neutrality by 2050, but here it is 2040. It is 2050. So answer is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2, only single thing, it is not 2040, it is 2050, which tells that European Parliament has passed the Net Zero Industry Act, which means that carbon neutral will be happening by the year 2050, but here it is mentioned as 2040. So answer is C. 47th question. Recently, Venezuela has achieved a rapid recovery from its economic crisis and succeeded in preventing its people from immigrating to other countries. No, Venezuela did not achieve. Today also Venezuela is suffering with economic crisis. Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves. Correct. So answer is what? Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct, which means Venezuela is having the largest oil reserves in the world. But when Venezuela is suffering with economic crisis, it is not coming out of the economic crisis. This is the question all about. 48. With reference to Digital India land records modernization program, consider the following statements. To implement the scheme, the central government provides, yes, cadastral maps are digitized. Initiative has been undertaken to translate the records of rights from local language to any of the language recognized by the Constitution of India. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. 48th question. 49th question is easy question. I remember it. Pradhana Mantri Surakshit Matreva Abhiyan. Matreva Abhiyan. It talks only about when mother is pregnant. It only talks about when mother is pregnant. This scheme guarantees a minimum package of antenatal care given to women in their second and third trimesters of pregnancy and 6 months post-delivery health care. They didn't discuss about 6 months post-delivery. In this scheme, they never discussed about post-delivery. They discussed only about trimester and bimester. That means at a second and third trimesters only they will be having this, but they didn't discuss about post-pregnancy. Hence, the statement is wrong. Under the scheme, private sector healthcare providers of certain specialists can volunteer to provide service at nearby government health centers. This is correct statement, so answer is 2 only. They discussed when the mother is pregnant only. After post-pregnancy, post-delivery, they didn't discuss anything. 50th question is about Pradhana Mantri, government scheme it is, Pradhana Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. Pradhana Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. The entry age group for enrollment in the scheme is 18 years. Any age specific contribution shall be made by the, this is wrong statement. We will see elimination method once. 1 is wrong, 1 is wrong. Each subscriber under the scheme shall receive a minimum pension of 3,000. Yes, 3 is correct. So answer 3, if you know answer 3, so answer 2 and 3 is correct. This is with respect to 50 questions which are there. 51, yes, it is about geography. So dear students, 51, from 51, the other faculty Bharat sir will be taking it, okay? Yes. I hope you understood.
Hello students, I hope all of you have written the exam very well. Of course, leaving all the things aside, whatever be your performance, whatever be the cutoff and all, you should give due credit to your hard work now, first of all. Anyway, just refer to our key or 1 or 2 more keys from other institutes and just take a rest for 1 or 2 days. Don't think anything about the exam and all, okay? Because first of all, you need to give your body and mind some relaxation for all the hard work you have done in the past 5 to 6 months and the past 1 year, okay? Yeah, since Vishnu sir had done questions from 1 to 50, I will be doing the remaining questions from 51 to 100. Yeah. First we will be starting with economy and science and technology. The first question here is, of course this is very easier question. The total fertility rate in an economy is defined as. Why this question has been asked? If you are following the newspaper, since last 1 year, there was high debate in India that total fertility rate of India has gone to 2, below 2.1. And also total fertility rate of Japan and all are also very less. So considering this question has been asked. Now what is this total fertility rate? total fertility rate is the average number of live births a woman would have by the end of her childbearing age. Means if you will be taking the average of all the women up to their childbearing age, what is the number of children they will be having in their childbearing age. That is considered as total fertility rate. In India, it is around 2 now. Okay. Next. See this. In India, non-banking financial companies can access to the liquidity adjustment facility window of the Reserve Bank of India. Is it true or false? See, earlier this NBFCs are not allowed to use the window of liquidity adjustment facility. What is this liquidity adjustment facility mean? Repo, reverse repo, long term repo operations and all. Means these are the bodies or banks or the organizations which are allowed to use the facility of LIF, they can take repo rate loans and all from the RBI. Now post COVID, long term post COVID, NBFCs are also allowed to use the long term repo operation window of liquidity adjustment facility. So NBFCs are also allowed. Okay. Next, in India, foreign institutional investors can hold the G-Secs. Of course, we had discussed this in our classes earlier also, and also G-Secs, you know that earlier in 2021 there was a question asked on whether G-Secs can, whether normal private individuals can subscribe to G-Secs or not. And similarly, this is the continuation of such thing. G-Secs, FPIs, FIs, all are eligible to invest in G-Secs. This is also true. And in India, stock exchanges can offer separate trading platform for debts. Of course, in news you might have heard no this debt traded funds and all. So debt is also allowed under stock exchange, and there are separate trading platforms also. Around in 2013, new stock exchange dedicated for debts has also been started. Okay. So what is the answer here? All the three are correct. Yeah, here some mistake they had given. Answer is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Answer is 1, 2, 3. Next. In India, which of the following can trade in corporate bonds and government securities? G-Secs. As I told you earlier, RBI in 2021 started a scheme called RBI Retail Direct Scheme. Retail Direct Scheme. Under this, retail investors are allowed to subscribe to government securities, right? So of course this is right. When 3 is correct, this will be going wrong. And among the remaining 2, you all know that in the process of purchasing this G-Secs, RBI will be acting as the auctioning person. Means RBI will be conducting the auction, and in this auction it will be calling for primary dealers. And in these primary dealers, insurance companies, pension funds are also primary dealers. Okay. At last, why these G-Secs or corporate bonds are needed? To have some funds. Government will be giving these G-Secs to take some loans from the people or some industries. So whatever the margins or whatever the places it can get loans, it will be using, of course. So here all the 3 are correct. Next. Is the volume low? Is the volume low? Please confirm. Volume low. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll be going with the next question now. Which of the above are considered as the financial instruments? What are these financial instrument? Is a financial instrument in which some sort of financial transaction happens. Means taking loans or using it as a collateral and all. See, exchange traded fund. You know about these ETFs. companies and all will be using these ETFs as a financial instrument. Similarly, currency swap. What is this currency swap? Say for example, a company wants to take loan from in a foreign country. Now it want to take loan in local currency. In that situation, it can use the window of currency swap. So this currency swap can also be used as an option of loan. So it is also considered as a financial instrument. But what about these motor vehicles? You all know that motor vehicles are assets. It is not a financial instrument per se. So this is wrong. Only option 1 and 3. Option D is the right answer here. Next. With reference to the sectors of the Indian economy, consider the following pairs. So basically, they are asking what comes under primary sector, what comes under secondary sector, what comes under tertiary sector and all. Okay. See, basically what is primary sector? Using the natural resources or the raw materials as it is, or in the production of raw materials. All these comes under primary sector. Now consider this. And in Indian economy generally, agriculture, dairy and allied activities, mining, all these will be coming under primary sector. You all know this. So of course dairy farm comes under primary sector. Now storage of agriculture produce. As I already told, agriculture produce will be coming under primary sector. So this is wrong. Now mineral exploration. Minerals are also raw materials available in the earth, right? So this is not at all tertiary sector. In Indian economy, mineral extraction comes under secondary sector and mineral exploration comes under primary sector. So this is wrong. Now weaving cloth. What is this weaving cloth? Already we had taken the raw material and we are making some sort of improvements in this. So it forms a sort of industry, clothing industry. So secondary is correct. Now what is the correct answer here? Only two options, 2 and 4. Only 2. Yeah. Next, with reference to the physical capital in India, with reference to physical capital in Indian economy, consider the following pairs. Physical capital means working capital and fixed capital. So physical capital కింద working capital, fixed capital రెండు వస్తాయి. అయితే they had given 4 options and they had asked whether what things will be coming under working capital and what are the other things will be coming under fixed capital. Now basically this is an easy question. The only thing you need to know here is that working capital, the resources which are considered as working capital, they will be utilized in that academic year, in that financial year only. Say for example, take petrol. What happens? Petrol will be over when we will be using it. It can't be contributed. It can't be contributing for more than 1 year. So petrol is a working capital. Similarly, see computer. We will be using computer for many number of years, not only single year. So computer is a fixed capital. Now say farmer's plow means the instrument which farmer will be using for doing agriculture. It is a sort of capital thing, right? So it won't be over for a single use or for 1 year. So this is also a fixed capital. This is wrong. Now yarn used by the weaver. Yarn is the raw material used in the process of weaving, in the making of clothes. So what happens? This is a working capital. This is wrong. So 2 options are correct and 2 options are wrong. Answer is only 2. Okay. Now consider the following materials. Which of the above can be used as a feedstock for producing sustainable aviation fuel? Sustainable aviation fuel means the things which will be the fuel which we are using in the aeroplanes and all. Now this sustainable aviation fuel, you know about this International Civil Aviation Organization. It had recently given some sort of guidelines for that we have to transfer from the use of aviation fuel to sustainable aviation fuel. It had mandated for the uses of sustainable aviation fuel up to some percentage. In this scenario, they had asked which of the following feedstocks can be used in the manufacturing of this sustainable aviation fuel. Okay, and there are clear-cut guidelines as per ICAO which things will be coming under sustainable aviation fuel and which things would not be coming. And in this scenario, see, corn grain, agriculture residues, wastewater treatment sludge, wood mill waste. See, all these four will be coming under sustainable category only, because generally these are not non-usable. Now this residues or wood mill waste or wastewater and all, these are, we can't use them again. But since there is a chance that they will be having some sort of chemicals, and it is easier for them to turn into sustainable aviation fuel, and those properties will also be supporting them. So all the four comes under sustainable aviation fuel feedstock. Okay. Next, which one of the following words or phrases most appropriately used to denote an interoperable network of 3D virtual worlds that can be accessed simultaneously by millions of users who can exert property rights over virtual items? See, this is highly in use. Why this Mark Zuckerberg had used the Metaverse. He had done a campaign and all regarding this Metaverse. Even in our Hyderabad, KTR, the former IT Minister of Telangana, KTR, had also used this Metaverse, right? So 3D virtual world. In this Metaverse, we will be creating this 3D virtual world. We can attend the meetings even if we are not available there in that place. So a 3D virtual world will be created in this Metaverse. Next, with reference to the rules imposed by the Reserve Bank of India while treating foreign banks, consider the following statements. So what he is asking, RBI rules with regard to the foreign banks. Now, there is no minimum capital requirement for wholly owned banking subsidiaries in India. Actually, there are guidelines of RBI with respect to these foreign banks. If foreign banks want to create in India wholly owned subsidiaries, there are some sort of guidelines which says that there is requirement of 5 billion minimum working capital. So if a foreign bank have to establish its own subsidiary in India, it needs to compulsorily have $5 billion minimum capital requirement. So this statement is wrong. Next, for wholly owned banking subsidiaries in India, at least 50% of the board members should be Indian nationals. Yes, it is true. 50% of the Indian nationals should be Indian nationals, or 50% of the board members either should be Indian nationals or NRIs and all. Okay, so who are having some sort of relation with India. So this is right. Answer is 2 only. Okay, this is directly mentioned in the RBI's website. Next, with reference to the radioisotope thermoelectric generators, consider the following statements. This is also highly in use. Radioisotope thermoelectric generators. Why this is in news? Because recently US, NASA and all are using RTG fuels in their spacecrafts and all. Okay, this Falcon 9 and all, they are also using this RTG fuel. Now, RTGs are used for powering the onboard systems of spacecrafts, which I told you. This is right. Next, RTGs can use plutonium-238, which is a byproduct of weapons development. Yes, this plutonium-238 will be produced during the process of weapons development. So this is also true. Now, RTGs are miniature fission reactors. What does fission mean? In a fission reaction, a bigger or higher molecule will be breaking down into 2 small molecules, right? But in this RTG, no nuclear fission reaction happens. It is just a nuclear cell. Okay, it is just a nuclear cell. It is not a fission reactor. So option 1 is wrong. 2 and 3 are correct here. Next, of course, with reference to corporate social responsibility rules in India, consider the following statements. This is also a previous year question. Means they are not direct question, but earlier they had asked some relations with respect to corporate social responsibility. In news, you might have heard that there is minimum requirement of 2% of net profit of companies which are having profit of more than 5 crores to spend for corporate social responsibility activities. So of course there is minimum requirement of 2%. So CSR rules do not specify minimum spending on CSR activities. This is wrong, right? There is minimum requirement of 2%. Next, CSR rules specify that expenditures that benefit the company directly or its employees will not be considered as CSR activities. Think in just use your common sense. What happens? Corporate social responsibility. It means companies will be using resources for the development of society and all. If in this process, if they are using the resources for the development of their own company or their own employees, can it be considered as CSR? No, of course. So the same is mentioned in the CSR rules. So here the answer is only one. Next. Yeah, we entered science and technology. Yeah, of course, considering the previous years of last 2 to 3 years, economy is relatively difficult. And science and technology is also relatively moderate. Of course, polity and geography are relatively easier things compared to last year or the before last year. So they had maintained the equality with respect to some sort of subjects. Okay, but of course, paper was relatively easier compared to last year, but I can't say it completely easy. It is a moderate paper. Okay. Giant stars live much longer than dwarf stars. Compared to dwarf stars, giant stars have a greater rate of nuclear reactions. What is it? Giant stars live much longer than dwarf stars. No, it is wrong. Because giant stars are having lot amount of size and they are in the end stage of their life. So, dwarf stars will be having much longer age, not giant stars. This is wrong. Next. Compared to dwarf stars, giant stars have a greater rate of nuclear reaction. Yes, you know that in this universe and all, the organisms which will be having the higher, means larger surface area and larger volume, they will be having lot amount of reactions in them. So in this scenario, since giant stars will be very bigger, they will be having a faster nuclear reactions compared to dwarf stars. So option, this statement 2 is correct. Now since of course statement 1 is wrong, answer is D. Statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Okay. Yeah. Which one of the following is synthesized in human body that dilates blood vessels and increases blood flow? What is this? Using one of this one of this will be synthesized in the process of dilating blood vessels and increases blood flow. This process is called vasodilation. Vasodilation. In this vasodilation, what happens? This blood vessels will be there, no? They will be making somewhat smoother and they will be expanded. So since these blood vessels will be expanded, more blood flow will be happening. And in this process called vasodilation, nitric oxide will be synthesized. Okay, nitric oxide will be synthesized. Next. In which of the following are hydrogels are used? Hydrogels. Controlled drug delivery in patients, mobile air conditioning systems, preparation of industrial lubricants. Hydrogels, of course, you might be knowing about their utility in lubricants. Many industries will be using these hydrogels and all. So here you can roll out these two options. Answer will be in this 2 and 3, AC and lubricants. Now controlled drug delivery in patients. Now using this nanotechnology and all, we are using hydrogels in the drug delivery of patients. So this is also right. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. Next. Which one of the following is the exhaust pipe emission from fuel cell electric vehicles powered by hydrogen? This is also highly in use. This fuel cell electric vehicles, when they are powered by hydrogen, the only emission it will be happening is water vapor. That's why we will be considering it as a clean energy, right? Water vapor will be emitted. Next. Consider the following activities: identification of narcotics on passengers at airports or in aircraft, monitoring of precipitation, tracking the migration of animals. In how many of the above activities can the radars be used? Radars. So, in which of these 3 radars will be used? You all might have heard about these Doppler radars. Doppler radars we will be using for weather prediction. So, monitoring precipitation will be happening using this radar. Next, tracking the migration of animals. Using these radars, US and other bodies are tracking the migration of animals in this winter season and all, Siberia, this Siberian cranes and all. So this is also possible. Next, identification of narcotics on passengers at airports or in aircraft. So generally what happens in these airports, they will be using X-ray scanners. They will be using X-ray scanners for the identification of narcotics. If you are seen in the airport also, in international wing, they will be using the X-ray scanners. But inside the aircraft or in some places in the airports also, in US and some other places, they are using radars also. But what UPSC will be considering in this, we have to see in the final key itself. But there is chance that here answer can be either 2 or 3 also. Because there is no established relation that mandatorily radars will be used in this, but in some places they are being used. In that scenario, most probable answer will be 3. Okay. Next. Recently the term pumped storage hydropower is actually and appropriately discussed in the context of which one of the following? See here in the name itself, pumped storage hydropower. So what is happening that we are producing lot amount of electricity, be it hydropower and all, but we are having very less amount of routes for their storage, for to use that electricity in the future. So in this scenario, this pumped storage hydropower will be used for long duration energy storage. Okay. So pumped storage hydropower will be used in long duration energy storage. Next. Membrane bioreactors are often discussed in the context of, see this membrane. Membrane means here something is present, here something is present. This is membrane. What happens using this osmosis or reverse osmosis and all, we can purify the water, right? So similarly, these membrane bioreactors are used in wastewater treatment technologies. Okay. Seeing the name itself, you can keep the answer here. Next. Consider the following aircraft. How many of the above are considered 5th generation fighter aircraft? 5th generation fighter aircraft. All these 3 aircrafts related to India. India only, we are using these fighter aircrafts. Now, why this question has been asked? Because recently around 2 to 3 months back, India had started the manufacturing of 5th generation fighter aircraft called AMCA. Until now, India doesn't have any sort of 5th generation fighter aircraft. Okay. Other countries, US and all are having. Now, this Rafale is 4.5th generation. MIC 29 is 4th generation. Even this LCA Tejas MK1 is also 4.5th generation. So, all these 3 are not 5th generation fighter aircrafts. So, answer is none. Now, with reference to the Indian economy, collateral borrowing and lending obligations are the instrument of, this is of course this is a static part. This is a money market instrument. This collateral borrowing and lending obligations, in this what happens, we will be using some instrument as collateral and we will be taking short term loans. Since it is a short term loan, it belongs to money market. Money market means loans or these financial transactions which are having validity of less than 365 days, less than 1 year. So answer is money market here. Yeah. Now we had completed this economy and science and technology. Now we will be completing the remaining 30 questions, 51 to 80. Mostly they are related to international relations and most questions are related to geography. And this year, even UPSC had started giving importance to geography since last 2 years also. Even we had discussed that the same thing in our classes, that this year there is high chance of repeating more number of questions from geography static part and all. Okay, the same happened now. Answer the following statements. the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. Is it true? What happens here? When sun rays will be coming from the sun, this is Earth. The rays here will be coming in short wave radiation. Now Earth's surface will be emitting these into long wave radiation. Here short wave radiation and here long wave radiation. We all know that the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide and all cannot are not good absorbers of this short wave radiation. They can absorb only long wave radiation. So all the gases which are present in the atmosphere, they will be absorbing the long wave heat from the long wave radiation emitted by the Earth's surface. So the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. The radiation which will be emitted by the Earth's surface is called as terrestrial radiation, right? So this is opposite. So atmosphere gases will be more heated by terrestrial radiation, not solar radiation. And as I already told you, sun will be emitting short wave and Earth will be emitting back long wave radiation. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation, of course, which I told you. So this is wrong and this is true. Answer is statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Okay. Next. Thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to the poles. If you had seen this diagram in your NCERT also, you might have seen. Nearby equator, the height of troposphere will be around up to 14 kilometers. And nearby poles it will be up to around 9 to 10 kilometers. So of course thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater than compared to the poles. Why? Because due to intense heating by the sun near the equator areas and these tropical areas, what happens? The convectional currents will be going to the higher, convectional currents will be moving much higher. So at equator it will be going up to the height of 14 kilometers. So thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as we had established here, and at the equator heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. That is the reason, right? Due to strong convectional currents, it will be going to the higher places around 14 kilometers. So answer is 1. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Next, consider the following. How many of the above are products of volcanic eruptions? This is also direct NCERT question. Many geography questions are repeated from the NCERTs, right? So you all know that when volcanoes erupt, of course sulfur compounds will be emitting. Because of the sulfur compounds, cooling of the atmosphere also happens when volcanic eruptions will be done. Of course, when this volcanic eruptions happens, this debris will be coming, ash and dust will be coming, and nitrogen compounds will be emitted also. So answer is all 4. Next. Which of the following are correct inferences from isothermal maps in the month of January? This might be somewhat difficult question, but he had given one loose statement here. By this, you can answer this. How? See. The presence of cold ocean currents, Gulf Stream and North Atlantic drift make the North Atlantic Ocean colder and the isotherms bend towards the north. Consider you do not know anything about this, isotherms bending towards north or south and not. But most probably you will be knowing that Gulf Stream and North Atlantic drift are warm currents. These two are warm ocean currents, not cold ocean currents, right? So this is wrong. So these two statements are already ruled out, both 1 and 2. Now the isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent. Of course. Why? Because of this cold currents and cold current and warm currents, and there is a heat differential between land area and ocean water. these isotherms will be moving north over to the ocean region and also south over the continent region. If you will be observing the isothermal map given in your NCERT in the January month, the same is established there. Okay, so your answer is 1 only. Next. Which of the following countries are well known as the 2 largest cocoa producers in the world? Recently, Cote d'Ivoire got the recognition of being the largest cocoa producer. That's why this question has been asked. Of course, this is not an easy question, somewhat factual. Answer is Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. Which of the, with reference to the Himalayan rivers joining the Ganga downstream of Prayagraj from west to east, which of the following sequences is correct? What they are asking, Ganga is flowing from different states, tributaries will be joining. So he had asked the position of tributaries joining into the Ganga from west to east. Of course, you can answer this, eliminate these two options easily because Kosi will be nearby, joining nearby Bihar. So these two are ruled out. And Gomati will be joining first, next Gagra, next Gandak and next Kosi. So answer is B. Consider the following statements. Rainfall is one of the reasons for weathering of rocks. Of course, yeah, even if you don't know about this also, once if you visualize, when rainfall will be happening intensively, rocks, rocks will be breaking into small soil pieces will be coming from the rocks, right? So, that the process itself is called as weathering. So, it is right. Rainwater contains carbon dioxide in the solution. Of course, rainwater will be containing this carbon dioxide, nitrogen and all, right? And statement 1 is correct and both of them are a correct statement. Because of this presence of carbon and all, the weathering process happens because of the chemical reaction using this carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is true. Next, consider the following statements. How many of the above countries have a border with the North Sea? North Sea bordering countries. Of course, Russia is not part of this. And see, North Sea, if this is Britain, this area is North Sea, and here Germany, Norway and all will be present. So Finland will be not touching this North Sea and Russia also not touching. Answer is Germany and Norway. Only two. Next. He had given, this is some sort of new format in UPSC. He hadn't asked this earlier. Around 5 to 6 questions have been in this format, right, in the complete paper. Dhuandhar waterfall, he had given the waterfalls and the reasons in which they fall and the river into which they fall. Now Dhuandhar waterfalls will be in Madhya Pradesh. So it will be in Malwa Plateau and it drains to Narmada river. Similarly, Hundru river, it is in Chota Nagpur Plateau and it will be draining into Subarnarekha river. It is also right. Next, Gersopa river in the Western Ghats in the Netravati river. It is not Netravati. This is also in Gersopa. It is in Karnataka. In the Western Ghats only. Now, this drains into Sharavati river, not Netravati river. So, this is wrong. Here the answer is, here they had marked it wrong. Here the answer is only 2. Option B. Okay. Next. This is also related to world geography question. Of course, you all know he had matched these 4 rightly only. So this Andes and all. Now, of course, Andes is fold mountain, Appalachian is fold mountain, Himalayas are the fold mountains. You all will be learning. Now, Alps is also a fold mountain, right? It is not a block mountain. And Vosges is a block mountain. It is not a fold mountain. Okay, so answer is only 2. Next, the organisms cicada, froghopper and pond scatter. You might have heard about this cicada in the news. It is an insect. Okay. Next, many chewing gums found in the market are considered as a source of environmental pollution, right? Yes, these chewing gums are considered as a source of environmental pollution. You might have seen some campaigns related to these chewing gums also. Why? Because they will be having the plastics in them. The base used in the manufacturing of this this chewing gums will be having plastics, microplastics and all. Many chewing gums contain plastic as the gum base. So both the statements are correct and it is a correct explanation also. Next, he had given the country and also animals found in its natural habitat. So he had told how many pairs are right in this. Indri. Indri's natural habitat is not Brazil. Indri's natural habitat is Madagascar. Okay. Next, elk. Elk's natural habitat is in Americas, Central America and North America. So this is also wrong. Next, bonobo. Bonobo's natural habitat is in Africa's Congo region and all. So this is also wrong. Answer is none here. Now, you can answer this question with the elimination. Consider the following statements regarding the World Toilet Organization. It is one of the agencies of the United Nations. See, all the specialized agencies or the main organs of this United Nations, of course you know. So, World Toilet Organization is not a specialized agency of UN. So, this is wrong. By this goes wrong. Now, World Toilet Summit, World Toilet Day and World Toilet College are the initiatives of this organization to inspire the action to tackle the global sanitation crisis. It can be, no, right? Because organization is related to toilets. Toilets is related to sanitation. So, it will be creating the initiatives which will be bringing some sort of awareness regarding the sanitation crisis. So, this is right. Now, here the tricky part arrives. The main focus of this function is to grant funds to least developed countries and developing countries to achieve the end of open defecation. The thing is that it won't be granting any funds. Per se, it is not having any sort of funds with them. This private organizations like Bill and Melinda, it will be partnering with them. So, this is wrong. Answer is 2 only. 1 and 3 are wrong and answer is 2. Next. Lions do not have a particular breeding season. Yes. Unlike most of the big cats, cheetahs do not roar. This question is relatively very difficult question because we don't know the characteristics or all the activities regarding to this big cats and all. Okay. Even though this International Big Cat Alliance is in use, we won't be going into this much deeper. Okay. So relatively this question is very difficult. Now, unlike most other big cats, cheetahs do not roar. Yes, of course, leopards, lions, they will be roaring, but cheetahs do not roar. Next, unlike male lions, male leopards do not proclaim their territory by scent marking. Actually, if you had seen this national parks and also in the functioning and the research papers also, they will be mentioning about this scent marking. What is this scent marking? It is a mechanism by this leopards or lions, the tigers, they will be demarcating the places that they will be inhabiting. So this statement is wrong because not only lions, leopards will also be using this scent marking. Okay, so this is wrong. Answer is 1 and 2 only. Yes, 1 and 2. Next. Which one of the following is the correct description of 100 million farmers? 100 million farmers. Of course, this is not an means highly in use, but seeing the statements you can guess the answer. It is a platform for accelerating the, since 100 million farmers has been given, transition towards food and water systems that are net zero carbon, nature positive, and that aims to increase farmer resilience. Means promoting some sort of sustainable agriculture. Since net zero, there is high focus on net zero, you can go with this option. Answer is A itself in this. Now 100 million farmers, generally the digital platforms names or alliance names will not be kept like this, right? This 100 million farmers is an initiative of World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum. What is this 100 million farmers? It is a platform for accelerating this sort of sustainable agriculture. Okay. Now, which one of the following shows a unique relationship with an insect that has co-evolved with it, and that is the only insect that can pollinate this tree? In your biology NCERT, there is a concept called symbiotic relationships. In this, mutualism will be mentioned, right? This question is related to that concept of mutualism. What happens that there will be fig and fig wasp. The insect name is fig wasp. This fig tree will be providing shelter for this fig wasp, and fig wasp will be helping in pollinating the fig tree. So they will be living in mutualism, symbiotic relationship. So here the answer is fig. Next. Consider the following: butterflies, fish, frogs. How many of the above have poisonous species among them? Poisonous species. You know, this some sort of frogs and jellyfish and some sort of butterflies, nectars and all. One or two organisms in the butterflies also are poisonous species. So all the three here are having poisonous species among them. Next. Consider the following. How many of the above are considered distributed energy resources? What is this distributed energy resources? It means energy production will be decentralized. Say for example, on the top of our houses we are using solar panels. So it is considered as distributed energy resources. It is being produced decentralized, and we can also circulate to the other houses in the decentralized manner. No centralized system will be present. So consider now rooftop solar photovoltaic. By name itself you can answer this question. Rooftop solar photovoltaic units are distributed energy resources. Battery storage, this is also distributed. Fuel cells, this is also distributed. If you might get confused by this option, biomass generators, but if you see in rural areas and all, biomass generators they will be using in rural areas. Right, so it is also happens in decentralized manner. Not larger things will be created and distribution channels will be, transfer channels will be created. So this also comes under distributed energy resources. Answer is all four here. Next, consider the following. How many of the above trees are actually native to India? So it is asking which of these three are endemic to India. This is also a difficult question. So see this. Even though polity and geography are relatively easier, but the other things, science and technology or environment and this economy also not so easy. We can consider them as moderate to difficult. Okay. Now how many of the above trees are actually native to India? This red sanders, always in use, Arachandanam. It is native to this southeastern part of India, right? In Nalamala hills and all. Pushpa. So this is native to India. But cashew and papaya. Cashew is not native to India. Cashew is not native to India. Cashew is from Brazil. It is native species of Brazil. It came. We had this. Now we are using this producing in India also. And papaya. Papaya is native to Americas, not India. So answer is red sanders only. Only one. Next, consider the following airports. In the recent past, which of the above have been constructed as greenfield projects? You might have answered this. How? Vijayawada International Airport. See, from our childhood days, Vijayawada International Airport is there. What does Greenfield Airport mean? Greenfield means it is being constructed from the scratch. Brownfield means already there is some sort of infrastructure. Now we are remodeling it or developing it. It happens brownfield infrastructure. In greenfield, we are starting from the scratch. For example, take Amravati as a capital in Andhra Pradesh. It is a greenfield city because there is no city there. From the scratch, they are making this. Now, Vijayawada Airport is started from around in 2000 itself. 2003 around. So it is not a greenfield airport. But this Doni Polo Airport, Kushinagar International Airport, these are recently developed. It has developed in 2022. It was in 2021. Okay. So these two are greenfield airports, 1 and 2. Since Vijayawada is wrong, you can eliminate these three options. Answer is 1 and 2. Next. With reference to Coriolis force, which one of the following statements are correct? It increases with increase in the wind velocity. It is maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. This is also direct statements from our NCERTs, right? The basics of geography. You all know that due to Coriolis force, there will be rightward movement in the northern hemisphere and leftward movement in the southern hemisphere. But nearby equator, there will be no Coriolis force, right? So even in the concept of this formation of tropical cyclones and all, this will be mentioned. That's why the formation shouldn't be nearby the equator and all. So it is maximum at the poles and absent at the equator. Option 2 is correct. Now it increases with the increase in the wind velocity, of course, because this is related to the wind velocity. If wind velocity is more, the force will also be more, impact will be more. This is also right. Both 1 and 2. Answer C. Next. With reference to water vapor, which of the following statements are correct? This is also directly NCERT question. It is a gas, the amount of which decreases with the altitude. Right? See, even if you don't know anything also, this is Earth. Now, water will be evaporating by the process of evaporation from the oceans and all. So there will be water vapor in our atmosphere. Now going upwards, the quantity of altitude means with height, right? The quantity of water vapor will of course decrease, right? So this is right. Next, its percentage is maximum at the poles. As I already told you, evaporation happens where there is possibility of water. In the tropical areas or else take nearby equator, there will be oceans, seas and all, there will be evaporation. So water vapor will be more nearby this area. But here completely it is an icy area, and also this permafrost and all these will be present at poles. How can their water vapor will be in a higher percentage? So this is wrong. Its percentage is not maximum at the poles. Answer is only 1. Okay. Next. On June 21 every year, which of the following latitudes experiences sunlight of more than 12 hours? What is this June 21? This is also previous year question, but they had just twisted it. June 21, what is this? This is summer solstice. Summer solstice. What happens in this summer solstice? Sun will be giving direct rays on the top of Tropic of Cancer, right? So in this scenario, these areas in the northern hemisphere will be having sunlight of more than 12 hours. So Tropic of Cancer, here sun will be over Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle. All these part will be having more than 12 hours sunlight. So answer is 2 and 4, option D. Next. One of the following regions has the world's largest tropical peatland, which holds about the 3 years worth of global carbon emissions from fossil fuels, and the possible destruction of which can exert detrimental effect on the global climate. Which one of the following denotes that region? This is in news, that's why they had asked this. Congo Basin is having this largest peatland, right? Brazzaville Declaration and all are related to this peatland. So Congo Basin is the answer here. Next, consider the following description. What is this type of climate? Here this question is also difficult because here the numbers are not accurate. Precipitation varies between 50 centimeters to 250 centimeters. Generally, this is true with respect to humid subtropical climate. Precipitation occurs throughout the year. Annual and daily range of temperature is low. So most probably the answer could be this humid subtropical climate. Okay. With reference to perfluoroalkyl and perfluoroalkyl substances that are used in making many consumer products, consider the following statements. Perfluoroalkyl substances, these are also in use, are found to be widespread in drinking water, found and food and food packaging materials, of course, because FSSAI had taken action regarding this also, are not easily degraded in the environment. That's why usage of these perfluoroalkyl substances are damage to the health. Next, persistent exposure to this PFAS can lead to bioaccumulation in animal bodies. True. So here answer is all three are correct. Next, how many of the above belong to the P family? P family means this Fabaceae family. How many of the above belong to this P family? This is also a difficult question. Groundnut. We will be calling groundnuts also as peanuts, right? So this also belongs to P family. What does this P family means? This legumes and all. Horse gram is also belonging to P family, and of course soybean belongs to this P family. So your answer is all three, not only two. Next. The Indian flying fox feeds on the blood of other, The Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Yes, it is put in the category of vermin. What does vermin mean? If some organism is placed as vermin in this act, we have right to kill it because there is chance that that vermin will be damaging our property. Now what this Indian flying fox will be doing? It will be feeding on the plants and this fruits and all. It is having the probability of damaging our agricultural feeds. So the Indian flying fox feeds on the blood of other animals. This is wrong. It feeds on it is feeded by this fruits and plants. So answer is only one here. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Last question. Considering the following statements, parasitoid species are found in how many of the above kind of organisms? This is also a very difficult question. Parasitoid species. Now, generally parasitoid species are available in beetles, wasps and flies. In these three, these parasitoid species are present. But centipedes and termites, there is no presence of this parasitoid species in termites. We can remove it. But some research papers say that centipedes also parasitoid species will be present and all. So here answer can be only 3 or only 4. Okay. Answer can be only 3 or only 4. Okay. Yeah. By this we had completed our paper explanation. I hope all of you have done well. Whatever happens, be it good or bad, it is good. At last it will be good for us. Okay? Take a break of 2 or 3 days. You surely deserve this break for your hard work. Okay? Yeah, we will be ending our class here. Thank you.